Being able to master this technique of not being needy, the opposite of not being needy, is more magnetic than you will ever realize until you are living it. It will literally change your life. Do you find yourself in a situation where people are pulling away from you all of the time and you are creating a needy energy? You're creating a codependent bond with people and you don't even know how it's happening. In this video, I am going to talk you through exactly what is happening and show you what you can do in this situation to be more in your own frame and to attract people in a really magnetic way. If you feel them pulling away and your instinct is to pull harder and pull them towards you and try and convince them to see you, to talk to you, you are literally pushing them away without realizing it. You are repelling them from you. In this video, I am going to show you exactly what is happening and I'm going to show you exactly what to do so that you can be in your own energy, which, by the way, is magnetic as all hell. First of all, I want to say I get it. I've been there, I've done it for years and years and years. I had a really unhealthy relationship with myself and with other people. And when people were maybe not messaging me, not calling me in relationships that I was in, I had this really needy energy that was felt made me feel very powerless, and it didn't actually do what I wanted it to do. It never worked the way I thought it was going to work. I've been in situations where people have been pulling away and I have texted them more, called them more, because I want their energy in my life. And until I worked this out, until I found this method and understood this about myself, nothing changed. And the moment I understood the way energy works, the way people work, the way all of this comes together like a giant puzzle, my life completely changed when I realized this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My life completely changed. My stability, my emotional stability changed overnight, literally overnight, and has continued to grow. And I've become a more and more stable version of myself. It has changed everything about me. It has made me more likable, more magnetic, happier. It has changed everything for me in my relationships. I used to be attracting people that needed work, that needed healing, that were just no good for me because I think I had this energy that I felt, if I can heal them, if I can kind of teach them things that will make their life better, if I can prove myself indispensable to them, they're never going to leave me. And that is just not how it works. Let me tell you that right now. For me, this comes from childhood. I know this for sure. And for most of you sitting in this energy, there will probably be something in your childhood that you could link this back to. But for me, I had a dynamic growing up where my mum wasn't always the most nurturing she could be. And unfortunately, when I was 16, I lost my father. And they were both very big blows for me. And they entrenched themselves into my self beliefs until I did the work on myself and realized I could release myself from that and become a much more magnetic person. And in actual fact, this works so well that I am now in a point in my life where I spend more energy pushing people away or kind of being by myself than I ever have done before, because actually people want to be around me a lot more than I want to be around them. And that is a reflection of where I'm at in my life. I'm so comfortable and so happy that I don't go out looking for that external validation. And it has made me so much happier. I want to share this with you. I want to share what happened for me. I want to share how you get to this point, and I'm going to show you exactly why this works. So the way energy works in quantum physics, this is a proven science. You might be thinking this is all a bit hippie, this is all a bit new age, but quantum physics, quantum science literally shows that when you look at anything under a microscope, anything, things feel solid, right? You think you can pick up this pen, you can pick up this glass, but actually they're not solid. When you look at things under a microscope, you see that everything is vibrating. Everything is moving all the time. Everything you see around you that feels solid, like this cupboard, is actually simply a frequency. It's a set of molecules of atoms that are vibrating and bouncing off each other at a certain frequency. Thoughts and emotions are the same thing. They work in the same way. They are still a frequency. So the whole world is actually just a vibration, which is where we get the saying, raise your vibration, which again sounds super hippie, super new age, but it's actually based in science. People feel what you feel, even if they're far away. So if you are seeing someone, for example, you're seeing someone and you really want them to message you back. They're not messaging you. You want more from them than you're getting. They could be 40 miles away. If you are constantly thinking about it, you're constantly checking your phone, you're constantly wondering, like, why haven't they messaged me? Why haven't they called me? And you think, oh, I know, I can fix this. I'm going to call them. And then they don't answer. And then your energy gets even more intense. And you think, right, what's the problem? What have I done wrong? That's usually where our thoughts go. What have I done wrong? Why aren't I enough? Why don't they want to talk to me? And people can feel that. And that is not an attractive energy. Like, imagine if I'm talking to you here and I'm super close and I'm saying, please, please like this video. Do you like this video? Is this video okay? Will you watch this video again? It's really uncomfortable. And you got someone talking to you and they're right here. You think, Emma, just back up. Like, this doesn't work for me. But equally, if I start backing up and I'm all the way over here, maybe you're liking the video content and all of a sudden you're thinking, I can't really see what you're doing. I can't really relate to you as well. Or maybe you like me being at this point. I don't know. But getting balance is really important. This is a metaphor. The framing of this video is a metaphor for your energetic exchange between you and other people. So other people can feel your needy energy and people don't like it. We are naturally free creatures. Think about a cork that bobs around in the water, and if it's left to its own devices, it has no resistance. It just bobs around, and we are the same. If you pull that down, you're going to feel resistance, and that cork wants to get to the top because that's science and we work in the same way. We want to be free. We don't want to be pulled into something, even if we're not thinking about it that deeply, even if our awareness isn't on that. We naturally will repel someone who is trying to pull us in all the time. When you focus on yourself and you bring yourself into your own energy and you stop obsessing about why the other person isn't spending time with you or replying to you or calling you, you create a much stronger energy field for yourself. And that is so much more attractive, even at a subconscious level, to other people. When we tell other people by our words, our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, that we value ourselves, that is magnetic. That's the kind of energy that people are drawn towards naturally. So when you are putting boundaries up for yourself and you're choosing yourself, you are making yourself more magnetic. When you are in a needy energy, you believe if you lean into the situation and you try to take control of the situation, you are going to get that person back. You're going to get their attention back. And you might do temporarily, but that is not going to be sustainable. The biggest takeaway is if someone is pulling away, it is because they want to be in their own space. And maybe they don't have the vocabulary to say that to you. Maybe they don't understand. But if someone is pulling away, let them. It's so important for you and for them that you allow them to be in their own power, because then that's another dynamic that happens. When you allow someone to back away, and you're fine. It's not fake. You're not pretending. You're genuinely, that's okay. I see that person wants some space right now. You are giving them power. And again, that is super magnetic. When you are empowering someone to feel good about themselves, they don't feel guilty, they don't feel dragged about. That is very, very attractive. And that is a very magnetic quality. If someone is pulling away from you and you give them space, there is every chance that with a little bit of space, they're going to think, wow, I feel really good. They might not know why, but they might think, I feel really good about that situation. And then they might start to think, I actually miss that person. Like, I'd actually quite like to spend a bit more time with you. I'd actually like to talk to you more. If you give someone the time and the space to be in their own energy, there is every chance that they are going to actually start stepping forwards to get more from you. And that's healthy. Now, there has to be a disclaimer here because it could be that you are attracting the wrong people into your life. It could be that you are attracting people that aren't actually choosing you. And if this is the situation and you are attracting people in your life that aren't choosing you, it could be that when you let them go, that they don't come back. I'm not going to lie to you. But if they don't come back, good. This is really important. And this is where it makes a massive difference if you have really understood and accepted this principle. Because if you have accepted it and understood it, if you give someone space and they go away, you feel relieved. You feel like, oh, I don't need to waste any more time with that. That's a good thing. Now, this may be difficult to hear, but if you are attracting people that aren't choosing you, it could be because somewhere in your childhood, you didn't feel like you were being valued. You didn't feel like your parents were putting your needs first. And that could be anything from super trauma and very obvious things or abandonment. And it could also be just, mum, after she had me, she had my brother real quickly afterwards. She had no energy to deal with us both. And it didn't really feel like, as a young baby, I didn't really feel like my needs were being met. Could be something very subtle in your childhood. It could be that dad was at work all the time, or maybe mum was at work all the time, or, if you have two mums or two dads, whatever the dynamic is, it could be that one of your parents wasn't around enough and it wasn't even through any fault of their own, but that can still give you what we call an inner child wound. Now, that creates a belief in you that becomes entrenched, becomes subconscious, that you carry through into life. And it becomes familiar. Things that are familiar to you are often things that came from your family in your formative years. So if you're attracting someone that is not choosing you, take some time to look at your childhood and realize it's not your fault. If mum or dad or mums or dads were not there for you, it's not your fault. That's really important. It's not your fault. It was never your fault. Nothing that happened was your fault. You are worthy. You are valued. You are worth the entire world. Your very existence is a complete miracle. And that is for every single person that is listening to this video. You are worthy. It's also potentially not your parents' fault. Because sometimes we can have these realizations and then we can shift into anger towards our parents, and that doesn't help either. The anger, the negative emotions, the blame, that can keep us held down as well. And actually, if your parents were not there for you on any level, whether obvious or small or subtle, that's because they had their own stuff going on. That's not about you. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's not a reflection of how valuable you are, or whether or not they loved you, even. That is their own human experience that they were having or are having. And that is their stuff to sort out. The important thing is that you realize it's not yours. You are worthy. You are worthy of being loved. You are worthy of feeling safe and comfortable and happy in your own space. We are here to enjoy. We are here to have a good time. And I don't mean partying, I just mean the natural existing of things. Life should not be that hard. Life shouldn't be brutally painful. Life isn't all bubbles and rainbows. But if you shift your thinking, which is where the majority of most of our problems come from, is our thinking. If you can pull away from that, you can have a positive and wonderful life. Whatever your experiences have been up till now, whether they were in your childhood, whether they were yesterday, whether they were today, you can shift your thinking and change your whole experience of living. As you start choosing yourself, you will naturally attract people who choose you. That's the beautiful thing about this. And this is where the absolute belief in this, the faith, the understanding, the acceptance of this concept is really important, because what you don't want to do is start letting people go and then you see people disappear and you think, well, now I have nothing, because then you're in the mindset of a lack again. But you are always living in abundance. You just have to look for it. And actually, if you stand in your own power and you choose yourself and you value yourself, I promise you that the people that are not meant to be in your life, they might dissolve away, but that will leave room for the people who are going to nourish you and make you feel healthy. It's going to attract people into your life that will choose you, whilst at the same time they're also valuing yourself, themselves, and that's powerful. That's a powerful combination. When you have two or more people coming together who value themselves, who have power in themselves, but who also choose each other, that's an unbelievable force to be reckoned with. And that's what you're opening yourself up for with this process. My biggest takeaway from this entire video is the whole point of the video, which is you need to start letting go. You need to feel safe to let go. You need to trust the process of letting go, and then witness what happens. Witness the people that are supposed to be in your life taking the place of the people that are not supposed to be in your life, because you are worthy. You are valuable. You are loved. You deserve it all. There's another video that I made. If you are worried that you are maybe missing the signs that people are being nice to you, being nasty to you, disrespecting you, I made another video about 5 simple ways to know whether people are disrespecting you. And I'm going to link to it here. So if you've watched this video, that might be a helpful video to go ahead and click on. As always, guys, have the best day.